All right, someone in the comments after my diatribe yesterday thought they were being cute, and they're like, oh, the alien overlord can't afford a PS5, huh? And the answer to that is no. I have way too many Earthling dependents to buy myself a PS5. But even if I did have the money to buy me a PS5, you console bros realize that there are only 16 exclusive titles currently for the PS5, and that the 2 I care about are definitely going to get PC ports, right? Storm system is going to bring snow to the Four Corners region, as well as widespread showers across and thunderstorms from the plains to the Midwest and the Mississippi Valley for Thursday. That will include flash flooding and severe weather threat across the Mississippi, Lower, and Tennessee valleys for Friday as well. Heavy mountain snow continues for the Cascades, as well as portions of the Intermountain West through Thursday, and well above average temperatures for much of the central and eastern U.S., while the western U.S. trends chillier. But New England is still getting peed on, as you can see above my big fat head. Temperatures, we've got East Coast with 30s and 40s up top. By the time you get to the Mid-Atlantic and lower, it's in the 60s, and then in the 70s, and 81 at the tip of the peanuts. Lake states are in the mid to high 30s, very quickly warming up into the 50s right below you guys, and then 60s by the time you get to the Tennessee valleys, and high 70s or 80s along the Gulf, depending on where you're at. Plainsy poos, we've got 30s, mid 30s to mid 40s for the top part. That's a lot warmer than you have been. It quickly turns into 50s by the time you hit South Dakota and Nebraska. Nebraska even seeing some 60s, and those 60s carry all the way down. It turns into 70s by about Oklahoma, and then Texas is in the 70s and 80s, 83 at the tip of Texas. Mountain states, we are in the 30s or colder, I'm sure in the mountain peak regions, as that intermountain snow does come down on parts of you, but 30s to 50s, depending on where you're at. That continues down through the southwest, and even down by the Arizona-Mexico border is expected to be about 57. A little warmer by the New Mexico-Texas border at 65. West Coast leaves, we're seeing 43, 45 for Washington and Oregon on the west side, NorCal in the low to high 50s, and SoCal in the mid 50s to the mid 60s. McMurdo Station on the Ross Sea in Antarctica sitting at 32 degrees Fahrenheit with no winds and a cloudy covered sky, giving you a real feel of 39 degrees Fahrenheit. Alaska seeing frigid temperatures continuing across the mainland and the Gulf low with snow and high winds to the southern coastal areas. As you can see above my big fat head, there is some precipitation. Definitely frozen for the interior and along the coastlines, most likely frozen, just depends on where you're at. Daytime high temperatures for the last frontier. We've got negative 20s up on the Arctic Circle. The rest of the interior seeing very similar negative 20s, negative teens, even negative teens along the coastlines. It does get warmer out on the Bering Sea itself with 19 to 23 to 15. And then, of course, the Aleutians much warmer, 42 to 30, 19 near Anchorage, and 30 for the Panhandle. Hawaii, at least on the Doppler, looks like you're cooling off a bit. We're still seeing high surf advisories and small craft advisories around much of the islands. The showers will continue to decrease, and breezy easterly trade winds will diminish through Wednesday as low pressure west of the islands fights and fills the high pressure to the northeast, which is weakening, and a deep ridge setting over you by Thursday, leading to light and stable conditions with light interior showers. So, yay Hawaii. Daytime high temperatures for the island chain in the high 70s to the low 80s for most areas. Right? You realize that is 16 games enough for you to have an entire console to pay hundreds of dollars for a thing that probably all these games will eventually be on PC for? That's your hill you're gonna die on? I don't think I would take that money and I would buy a table saw or a sewing machine or something I could do fun and productive things with. And I came over like 5 years ago, so I get it. You're stuck in your ways, but let me just say, you're wrong. Okay. All right. Yell at me if you want in the comments. PC gaming is just better in 2026. That's my stance. I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to that stance. Have a good day, guys. Bye.